And welcome to Great to Code. In this tutorial, we will talk everything about definition and a full crash course about software engineering. So, first of all, what is the definition of the software? Software, the program and other operating information used by computer. Software is like a set of the computer program and the associated document and data. This is contrast to hardware from which system and build which actually perform the work. So what is the difference? The software is set of the instruction data program used to operate computer and execute a specific task. It is the opposite of the hardware which describe the physical aspect of computer. Software is generic term used to refer the application, script and program that run in a device. So now we need to understand what is the nature of the software engineering. Nature of the software engineering. So software engineering changing nature. What is the nature of the software and software engineering branch associated with development of the software product using well defined scientific principle, method and procedures. Softwares provide functionality for the components that are embedded, distributed and data centric. They are implement simple control loops as well as complex algorithm, and the heuristic complexity can hide defect many other scripts. So what is the nature of the working software? Software engineer design, develop and test software of the application for computers. The main duty of responsibility of include participating programming activities, monitoring and evaluating system performance and designing implementation of programming features. Now understand changing nature of the softwares. Changing nature of software in software. So what is the changing nature in the software? In the software provide functionality for the component that are embedded, distributed and data centric. Software can implement simple control loops as well as complex algorithm, and heuristic complexity can be hide defect that may discovered easily, thus requiring significant addition of the unplanned work. Now understand software process framework. So software process software process software process. What is the meaning of the software process? Software is set of instructions that form the program given to produce software products that execute software processes. Let's see what is the software processes. So the term software is specified as software specification. The functionality of the software and the constraint on the operation must be defined. Software development. Software to meet the requirement must be produced. Software validation. The software must be validated to ensure that does what the customer want. And then software evolution. The software must evolve to meet the changing client's need. So software specification, software development, software validation, software evolution, software that evolves. So specification, development, validation and evolution. The software process model. Software process model is specified definition of a software which is presented from particular perspective model by their nature or simplification, or a software process model is an abstraction of the actual process which is being described. Process model may contain activities which are the part of the software process, software product and the role of the people involved in the software engineering. Some example of the types of software process like a workflow model, data flow and activity model, role action model and other models. So a workflow model, this shows the series of the activities in the process along with their input, output and dependency. The activities in this model perform human action. Data flow and activities model, this represent the process as set of the activity, each of which carries out the some data transformation. It shows the how the input the process such as specification is converted to an output such as design, and the activities here may be lower level than activities in the workflow model. This may perform transformation carried out by the people or by computer. Role model: this action role in the involve the software process activities which may are responsible. Then we need to understand the waterfall approach. This take the above activities and produce them to separate process phases such as requirement, specification, software division, implementation, testing. So after each stage of the defined, it is signed off and development goes on the following stage. Then evolutionary development: this method interleaves the activities of the specification, development and validation. An initial system is rapidly developed from a very abstract specification. Formal transformation: this method is based on producing a formal mathematical system specification and transforming this specification using mathematical method to a program. These transformations are correctness preserving. This means that you can be sure that developed program need to be specification system assembly from reusable component. This method assumes that the part of the system already exists. The system development process target on integrating these parts rather than developing them from scratch. Now software crisis: software is becoming more expensive and more complex with the growing complexity and expectation out of the software. For example, the code in the consumer product is doubling every couple of the year. Quality: many software products have poor quality, so the software in the software product differ from the putting into the use and to the for example the software testing typically find the error and per 1000 lines of the code. So cost of the software and then is costly and term of the time given develop money involvement. For example, development of the advanced automation system, cost of the client deployed delivery and serial schedule and common code like that. And then you have to delivery software. Software is a more than program. Any program is a subset of the software, and it's become software only if documentation and operating procedure manual prepared. There are the three components of the software as shown: program, documentation, operating procedure. Now program: what is the program? So program is the combination of the source code of the object code, and the second is documentation. So documentation is the consist of the type of manual. Example is the differentious manuals like data flow diagram, flow chart, diagram, etc. Now list of the documentation manual. So like a list of the documentation manual: analysis, design, implementation, testing, then formal specification, context diagram, flowchart, entity relationship diagram, source code testing, cross listing. Then operating procedure. So operating procedure consists of instructions to set up the use the software system and instruction on how react to system. An example of the operating system procedure: manual, installation guide, operating guide, and other things. Now list of the operating procedure. So here operating procedures: operations manuals, user manual, system overview, reference material, system administration. So these are the things you need to think about that. Now understand what is the generic process model. Generic process model. Generic process model. generic framework for the software in the software process framework. ठीक है, let's go and see what is they are saying. Software process framework is abstraction of software development, detail of the task, say detailed task, actions, activities, focus on small specific objective, set up the task that describe reduce a group of related task action. Now see the things here like what process framework activities. So you have to do communication with client, you have to do planning planning with client, and you have to do modeling with the coding, and then construction, then deployment. So in these activities you have to complete your program, customer evaluate and give them. Then you have umbrella activities, and then umbrella activities are that take place during the software development process improve. Then you have to software project tracking, control, risk management, and software engineering technical tools. So these was all about